Namaste. Thank you for joining Dharma Yoga practice. Please, as always, practice according to your conditions and your abilities and experience level. You may do the modification. You may do the variations if you know them well and you're familiar with the practice. Otherwise, if you have any injuries, please respect your limitations. Remember, the practice is an offering, and to an extent, how you're feeling is to an extent affecting everybody. So practice in a way that is mindful, is conscious, and will deliver the best experience. So on that note, let's begin. Let's begin by sitting tall and straight. Close the eyes and bring the attention inward. Nothing to do, nothing to seek. Everything we need, after all, is already within. Let's begin with the sound of all 3 times to attract divine attention. Imagine you're everywhere. Fix your mind on God alone. Rest your thoughts on God alone. And in God you will live hereafter. Of this there is no doubt. Shivaya, Adati in light. May all beings everywhere be happy and free from suffering and enjoy this practice through our senses. May we always have a strong desire for the knowledge that liberates us from pain and suffering. And may we cherish no ill feelings against each other. Only peace, love, joy, and compassion. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. So let's start off with the Bija mantras. And we're stimulating each of the chakras through this. And when we do this, concentrate on a color. Imagine those chakras being flooded with that color. Your attention there may open up those gates in order to allow the energy to pass right through. In order to allow the energy to pass all the way up and through, it needs to be triggered by the adherence to ethical rules, constant adherence to ethical rules, yama and niyama. And when the energy reaches the crown, it is said that they can bring about the feeling of divine bliss. So let's just continue, or just try to promote that energy release all the way up. Starting at the base of spine now, at the Muladhara chakra, the color is red. Repeat after me. Lam, 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 lam. Repeat. Lam, 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 lam. Next, the Svadhisthana chakra, which is in the sacral region, the color is orange. Vam, 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 vam. Repeat. Vam, 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 vam. Next, go up to the navel chakra. The color is yellow. Manipura. Ram, 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 ram. Together. Ram, 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 ram. Next is the heart. Flood that area with the color green. Anahata. Yum, 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 yum. Yum, 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 yum. Repeat. Next, the throat. The base of the throat, the color is blue. Vishuddha. Hum, 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 hum. Hum, 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 hum. Next, Anya, the third eye. The color is indigo. Om, 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 om. Om, 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 om. And finally, the crown, Sahasrara. The color is violet. One long sustained Om. So just imagine you're trying to make the sound reach the ends of the universe, nice and full and deep. Allow the sound to just ride the breath. Inhale. Once again, inhale. Sahasrara, the color violet. Take a moment to just notice any changes in the state of the body and the mind and the emotions. Have no expectation, no concern as to what you observe. Just be like the witness watching everything, unjudging, undisturbed, unbothered. Well, now we'll do a bit of breathing just to heat up the body. Ujjayi breathing. So what we're doing is just trying to concentrate the breath between just a little bit below the belly button, maybe about 2 fingers widths or so below the belly button, up to the top of the chest. So as you inhale, you gradually Expand the belly, inflate the lungs, the chest rises up right to the chin. Exhale, you deflate slowly the same way. The chest falls and then the belly. And we start off with our mouth open to produce an ocean-sounding breath. And then partly through, we close the mouth, but we keep the sound going. So this is what heats up the body here, and it's like the sensation you get is like breathing through a partially restricted throat. At the end of it, we'll do a breath retention. We'll do about 12 cycles. At the end of it, the breath retention, again, we take a deep breath in, you fill up right to the top of the chest, you raise the chest, and then your chin comes right down on the chest. So you raise the chest so that the back doesn't hunch. The back stays nice and straight. The tongue to the roof of the mouth behind the teeth will seal off the lock, and the attention's at the space between your eyebrows. For the root lock, imagine you're lifting the pelvic floor up and in. Imagine you're trying to push it right up against the navel and against the back wall of the body. Okay, so we bring the attention to the space between the eyebrows. So let's begin. Both hands in Yana Mudra, second finger, thumb connected together to represent the union between the universal and the individual soul. The other three fingers, all the different representations of God: Brahma, creator; Vishnu, preserver; and Maheshvara, the Shiva, the destroyer. Okay, so hands on a knee. And then from here, empty the lungs on the next exhale and begin. If you need to start with your mouth open and close your mouth eventually, you may do that. Inhale, fill up. Exhale, release. Exhale. Push out all the air out of lungs. Inhale again. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Control the passage of the breath. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Notice if you feel any heat forming within. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Continue to be the witness, watching everything. Exhale. If you lose your attention, remain unconcerned, unjudging. Inhale. Exhale. Just do your best to bring your mind back to the pranayama and to stay focused at the third eye. Inhale. Exhale. Remember, try not to lift the shoulders, the chest that rises, not the shoulders. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Last one. Inhale. Exhale. Take a deep breath in. Fill up the chest, raise the chest. Hold the breath now. Mula Bandha, Jalandhara Bandha. Throat lock, root lock, just as I instructed earlier. Contract the root muscles, pull them up towards the navel. The area underneath the breadbasket hollows out. The chin on the chest, third eye attention. Keep your attention there to attract all the prana to that area, the vital force. down slowly and gradually. From the solar plexus, the source of inner power, inhale up to the crown. Send all your power up there. Leave it there. Exhale back down to the solar plexus. So you can tap into your own source and pull up even more on the next inhale. Leave it there again. Exhale back down to the solar plexus. Inhale again, fill up nice and deep. Hold the breath, chin on the chest, throat lock, root lock, third eye attention. This also helps to increase the capacity of the lungs. And with more capacity of the lungs, you can hold your breath longer, where the mind finds stillness. Now keep holding your breath, maybe let in a little bit more air if you can. Find a little bit more space within. Keep holding the breath, take in a little bit more air if you can. Fill up any remaining space in the lungs and the chest. Keep it there. Imagine that all your power is going out to all beings everywhere, being dispersed everywhere so all can benefit and feel empowered by your own source. Exhale slowly. Push out the air out of the lungs. Return your attention at the solar plexus. Remain established there to continue to deliver power to all beings, especially those who cannot practice, who need it the most. Now let's continue with the practice. Let's come to standing. So we're going to start off some exercises just to prepare the body for the practice. I'm going to change the ankle down. Okay, so now I'm going to swing from one side to the other. Let the arms hit the body any which way. Feels all the arms like heavy ropes. And then start to shake faster. The shoulders, feels all the arms were dead. Allow the head to fly in all the directions. All the joints being felt. The trunk. And then start to slow it down. And then bring hands on the hips, circle the head, large circles as possible, the ears touching the shoulders, the chin to the chest, the back, the head to the top of the back. If it's too much, you can always do half circles. Move always according to your condition and your abilities. And then go the other way now. Remember, you don't want to go to a place of pain or suffering, anxiety or distress. These are not the effects that you want to send out. And now from here, bring the left foot in front to the right. Swing the right arm back. Make large circles like you're winding up to throw a ball. Change the direction going forward. Imagine you're holding a weight of 5 pounds in the hand to make the arms swing more easily. And then the other side, the right foot forward, left arm circles backwards to begin. And then go forward. Loosen up the shoulder joints. You have to move joints every day, or as Dharma Yoga says, you end up in big trouble. And then come back, feet aligned with one another, about 10 inches apart, right arm up, left hand down, and then they pass one another. So the arms are circling in opposite directions. Don't move, don't stop moving, otherwise you might get confused and start swimming. And then come back, so left hand up, right arm up, and then go again, opposite directions. And then release. Take the arms up over the head, while holding the opposite elbows, bend to your left. Pulse a few times. Each bounce brings you a little bit deeper into the stretch. Come up, go to the other side. Hollow out the underside of the body. Try not to make wrinkles in the waist. Come up, go left, right. Come back to the center. Little circles over the head. Pushing the head into the back of the head into the arms. Make the circles now a bit larger. The chest and the upper back coming into the movement. Starting to feel the pull in the waist. And then finally the whole torso circles. The arms swing down. The forearms almost touching feet as they come down. Feel like a windmill. And come all the way up. And then go in the opposite direction, starting small again, little circles over the head. And then the upper back, the chest come into the movement as well. The pelvis is still more or less still. And then finally, if you feel apt to do so, the whole torso circles. Allow the momentum, the downswing, to bring you right up through the circle with gracefulness. No jerky movements. And come all the way back up and release. Shake out the joints and the fingers and the wrists now. Move the fingers very, very rapidly. And up and down. The fingers almost touching the tops of the wrists and they go up, and then touching the inside of the wrists as they come down. Like the wings of a hummingbird. So fast you can't even see the move. Good. Now from here, the arms up to the side. Feel free to bring your left hand to a wall if you like, and then swing the right leg back and forth. Lean forward, try to get your knee right to the shoulder. Swing the leg back as we're trying to touch your head with your foot. And then the other side now. Lean forward, throw the leg back, work the hip. And then release. And then bring the foot back, left foot back down, feet together, arms by sides of the body. 6 counts to come up. Halfway up, we lift the heels, we lift the palms. Inhale, 2, 3, lift up the heels, lift up the palms over the head. Exhale, 2, 3, and down, 2, 3. Inhale, 2, 3, rise up tall, 2, 3, push into roots your toes. Exhale, 2, 3, and down gracefully, 2, 3. Inhale, if you lose your balance, just remain unconcerned. And up, 2, 3. Engage leg muscles and the core muscles. Exhale, 2, 3. Push firmly into roots your toes and down, 2, 3. One more time. Inhale. Come all the way up, 2, 3. Hold the position. Turn the palms up towards the sky. Push into roots your toes. Reach up nice and high. And then exhale, 2, 3, and lower down, 2, 3. Bring your chin back down onto the chest in a gesture of humility. Stay in this humble mindset throughout the practice. Renounce all the fruits. Do the practice as though you're divine duty to all beings everywhere. Do it simply because it must be done. So now let's come to the front of the mat, Surya Namaskara, and some variations. Hands to the heart. Imagine we're all together physically, moving together like a school of fish. Raise your arms up over the head, arch back. Fold forward, bend your knees if you need to bring your hands flat on the ground, chest on the thighs. Right foot back, lower down the knee, drop down to the seat. Come into the high plank, lower down the knees, the seat comes all the way back behind the heels. Glide forward, brush the nose, the ground as you come forward. Raise the head, chest forward, and then back. 2 more times, seat behind heels, glide forward between the arms. Make so you're trying to pull the floor towards the body to propel yourself forward for more power and ease. All the way back again, the seat back, glide forward between the arms. Push the shoulders back, arch the back. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Lift the seat, allow the head to come down. If you can, touch the head to the ground if you're flexible. And then the right foot steps forward to the hands. If that's too difficult, you can lower the back knee. If the foot doesn't make it all the way, use your right hand to assist the foot forward. Drop down to the seat. And then the feet together, Uttanasana. Chest on the thighs, again, head down. Rise up to standing, arch back. Hands back to the heart. Feels where you like the whole front of the body. Approach your true nature, which is absolutely boundless in its potential. Uttanasana. Glue the belly under thighs. Then the left foot back into the plank. Lower down the knees, the seat all the way back. Glide forward again. Blessed are those who can imitate the teacher, in this case the serpent, physically be regal. Try to imagine having a balanced range of motion. Come forward again. Twice blessed are those who can imitate the teacher, mentally be regal and wise like the serpent. One more time. Take the seats back. 3 times blessed are those who can imitate the teacher spiritually. Tap into all their divine qualities. See all beings as divine manifestations. Take the seat all the way up and back, Adho Mukha Svanasana. And then the left foot steps forward to the hands, softly. Feet together, Uttanasana. Bow down in own humbleness. Come right up to standing, reach up over the head. Hands flat to the heart. Revere all forms. See the teacher, see the divine lights in all beings. And just have a strong desire for the knowledge that they have, that they can give you. Right foot back into high plank. Lower down the knees, drop the seat all the way back behind the heels. And when you look enthusiastic in your practice, the teacher is more inclined to show, to reveal their knowledge to you. Stay here for a moment. Bend the toes under, and here just pulse. Push the shoulders back. Look like a dog howling at the moon. The nose up. Make sure you don't make any wriggles in the lower back or the back of the neck. Pull the torso out of the hips. And then push into your toes. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Stay here for a moment. Try to allow the heart to fall towards the ground. Try not to bend the arms. Look like a dog stretching its back. Exhibit the loyalty of the dog to its master as well. The body, those characteristics are already within. You just have to turn them on. Now from here, look to the right, to the front. Right foot steps forward. Sink down to the seat. Feet come together. Uttanasana. Chest on the thighs. Head down. Come right up to standing. Copy Hasta Uttanasana. Hands back to the heart. Go up and back again. Pull the arms back behind the ears. Arch the back. Fold the body forward in half. Try to go a little bit deeper each time when the body starts to get warm. Left foot back. Into the plank. Lower down the knees. The seat all the way back. Come forward into your cobra. Now push your knees and hips up off the ground. Upward facing dog. From here, transition between upward and downward 3 times if you can. So round your back. Push into your knuckles, your toes. Back into Adho Mukha Svanasana, melt the heart. Come forward immediately again. Rounding your back, tuck the tail. Imagine pushing the heart right between the shoulder blades and then right through the center of the chest. Back the other way. Push into your knuckles, your toes. Lift your seat. Head comes down below the arms. One more time if you have it in you. Round your back. Hollow at the navel. Roll over the toes. Chest comes all the way forward in front of the arms. Back the other way. Lift up the seat, roll back, heels come towards the ground, the head comes down towards the ground as well. Or maybe even touches right down. If you're more flexible, maybe even the nose and the chin will come down eventually. And then from here, the left foot steps forward to the hands. Feet together, Uttanasana. Body on the legs, head down. Come right to standing, reach up over the head. And then come back home, hands to the heart. Raise your arms up. Go forward and down into Uttanasana. Right foot back, with the back knee lifted this time. Back leg stays charged and strong. Into the plank. Now from here, lower down, either right on the belly or straight line from the heels to the top of the head, hovering just above the ground, into upward facing dog. Again, do according to your strength. Back into Adho Mukha Svanasana. Then a right foot steps forward to the hands, back knee again stays lifted, and then bring the left foot forward to meet the right, Uttanasana. Come right to standing, reach up, and then back home, Pranamasana. Don't worry about the breath, just move the body in a way that allows the breath to remain steady and even. The breath will figure it out and deliver more power and ease and grace to the movements. Uttanasana, left foot back, back knee stays lifted, into the plank, lower down either on the belly or halfway down, and then through. Push into your heels, your palms, the finger pads and the base of the fingers, upward facing dog. Right back into Adho Mukha Svanasana. Then the left foot forward, make all the movements connected, all the transitions seamless, like you're doing a divine dance of devotion. Come all the way up to standing. Come back home, hands to the heart. Raise your arms up. This time he's coming down, bend your knees, belly, arm, thighs. Join your hands behind the back and pull them over your shoulders, maybe in front of your head if you can. The legs straight, the seat over the heels. Now from here, look forward, hold your breath, the right foot goes back, softly. Back knee comes down, Kapiyasana, pull your arms back behind your head, right beside your ears, and then right back down again. Come into high plank. Now you can do the chaturanga or on your belly, coming down straight, or come all the way back, seat behind your heels. So you can make your way into upward facing dog right from there. If you need to, drop your knees down, and once your hips come between your hands, you can lift your hips and knees. Back into Adho Mukha Svanasana. Right leg comes up, extended standing, Ekapada Adho Mukha Svanasana. Step the foot between your hands. Back knee down, flatten out the toes. Come all the way up, Kapiyasana. And then forward. Belly on your thighs, swing your hands behind the back, join the hands together. Left foot comes in to meet the right, Uttanasana. Come right up to standing, reach up over the head. Hands back to the heart. Good. Rise up. Full forward. As Dharma says, don't be late. Follow the teacher. Take the seat up, the hands over the head, and in front of the head. Look forward, the left foot back. Hold your breath to help the movement to come more easily, more grace. The arms come over the head, Kapiyasana. And then bring the hands back down. Plant your hands. Come back into plank, into chaturanga, or right down, or all the way back. Make your way into cobra or upward facing dog, your choice. Adho Mukha Svanasana. And then the left foot comes up. Ekapada, step the foot between the hands. Back knee down, flatten out the toes. Raise your arms up over the head. Reach back. The more you practice, the more you get. The movements come with ease. Hold your breath. The right foot comes in to meet the left. Uttanasana. Come right up. Continue to be attentive, enthusiastic for the teacher. Imagine the teacher's watching. The supreme teacher's within, always observing. Reach up and back. Hinge at the hips, come forward, bend your knees, land your belly and thighs, join the hands over the back, Uttanasana. Right foot back, lower down the knee, flatten out the toes, come all the way up into Kapiyasana. And then take your hands down. A variation here. Either come into plank, or you can raise the left leg all the way up and back, Ekapada Adho Mukha Svanasana. Come forward into high plank, keep your leg up if you have it up. And then pull the elbows into the sides, body, lower your chest down first. You have to push through the roots of your toes so that your body comes down with control. Into upward facing dog. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Immediately raise your right leg up and step the foot between the hands. Back knee down. And then just be like a shapeshifter, moving between the forms with grace and ease. Take your hands behind the back. Join your belly to your right thigh, and the left thigh comes in to meet. Uttanasana. Come right up to standing, right over the head. Hands back to the heart. You have to imagine your body moving with grace, with ease, just the way you want to move. And then this will translate into your movements. Chest on your thighs, join your hands, Uttanasana, plunge your head down. And then the left foot back, lower down the knee, right into Kapiyasana from here. Take the hands down, either plank or high plank, or swing the right leg all the way up, Ekapada Adho Mukha Svanasana. Come forward into high plank, pull your body down with lightness. Pull the elbows into the sides, body, control the movement, into cobra or upward facing dog. Right back into downward facing dog. Left foot comes up, and step the foot between the hands. Back knee down. Flatten up the toes, Kapiyasana. Reach all the way back behind the head. Exhibit surrender to all throughout the postures, humility and devotion. And Uttanasana here at the top of the head, down close to the feet, and come all the way up to standing. Up over the head, arch back, and then come back home. Take pause here for a moment. From the heart, inhale the love up from the heart, up to the crown. Send your love to all beings everywhere. Exclude no one, just like the sun's light and warmth reaches all beings. Exhale back down to the heart. Remain established and left towards all. So now we're coming back and to the middle of the mat, standing facing along the edge of the mat. Try some postures here for the balance. Push the left foot down firmly into the mat. Bring the right foot up. So we'll start off with tree, with the foot on the inseam of the leg somewhere, just not against the knee, either below or above. If you're having trouble the knee balancing, then the toes can stay on the ground. If you have a lotus, you can bring your knee up to the shoulder, pull the edge of the foot right against the left hip crease, and then point the knee down if you can. You can hold on with your left hand on the foot, right hand comes to the heart, or you can reach around if you can. Either hold the elbow at the elbow joint or lean forwards. You can use the left hand to bring the right hand to the foot and then come up. Otherwise, you can bring your hands over your head if you're doing a regular tree. Whatever you're doing, be tall, steady, and embody all the characteristics of a tree. Steadiness, but still able to flow with the wind when the wind comes around. Be unconcerned, just flow with it, dance with anything that comes your way. Now you can either stay here, or if you want, if you can, ballet pose. So if you can, take the heel from the inside and bring the leg out to the side and the arms at the same time. Fingers and toes in the same line. If it's too hard to straighten your leg, you can hold underneath the knee. If you're more flexible, bring the foot up higher. Flex the foot, lean to your left. If your leg is close to the shoulder, your fingers and toes still stay the same height, so lean will help you with that. Now, hold your breath so that the foot comes down softly. Come right back down. Try it on the other side now. You can again take your regular tree like so, with the foot pressing in the inseam of the leg, the hands at the heart. You can raise your arms up, or you can take any variation or modification that you need. Knee comes to the shoulder if you're doing a lotus, the foot to the top of the right hip crease, and then bring the foot against the inside of the top of the thigh. Reach around, either take the elbow while holding the foot with your right hand, or so you can take your hand all the way to the foot, behind the foot. You can take the hand to the heart. If you want to, you can raise your arm up over the head, however. Always make an intention that you're going towards the sun. Then from here, move into ballet pose if you can. Take hold the inside of the heel if you can, and bring the leg out and out and up. Flex the foot again. Lean back if you find a balance. Be magnificent and poised and graceful like a dancer. And if you fall, just come right back up again. Be unconcerned. Stay calm. Don't change the temperament. And then hold the breath. And then again, allow the foot to come down softly. So now we're going to come to the back of the mat. If you can, join the hands together, interlace the fingers, open up the palms. If it's too much, you can bring your arms out to the side. If it's too much trouble to balance, bring the left foot forward, hinge at the hips, bend the left knee, and bring the right leg up. So you can start off in balancing T here. Squeeze the heels, your palms together. Your leg about the height of the hip, in line with the head, like you're lying on a table. You can stay here, or start to cant the body downwards. Bend your left knee if you like, so you can get your belly under your thigh. Pull your hands over your head, and the right foot comes up higher. Arch the back hip to fall towards the toes a little bit. If you don't have your hands together, they're out to the side, or even on the ground. Now bring the fingertips on the ground. The left hand comes to the ankle, the index finger just alongside the heel, and then maybe bit by bit, you can bring the right hand in. If you can't get your leg, try to get your leg higher if you can't. Without bending your knee, that's okay. Again, just do your best. Your chest is with your thigh. Essentially, your index finger, the right hand, is along the inside of the heel. And then break the pose. Bring a foot down and come back up. Try it on the other side now. again, interlace your fingers behind the back, open up the palms, bring the right foot forward, lean forward, belly lands on your thigh, and pick up your left leg, and then straighten your leg again once your leg is up. About the height of the hip again, squeeze the heels of your palms together. You can stay in balancing T, look like the letter T. Or bend your right knee a little bit, bring your body down slowly. The hands come over the shoulders, the left foot comes, if you can, higher than the head. The head's about the height of the knee. And then bring the hands down to the ground. The right hand comes to the ankle, the right index finger just along the heel, outside the heel. And then maybe you can bring the left hand in closer bit by bit. Hold the breath, or you want to try to take your hand onto the ankle as well, on the inside. Gaze beyond the toes, just in front of the toes. Try to get your left leg up higher. And then release, bring the left foot down. Take the feet apart, inhale, lift the head, exhale. Flop down, shake it out. Good. All right, so now here, we're gonna come back up. Stand in the middle of the mat. Bring the elbows up about the height of the shoulders, fingers on the same line as the elbows. Jump or walk your feet apart. Go to your left. You can't see the screen, just turn around so you can see the screen. Sink into the seat, try to get your hips nice and low. When Dharma does the pose, his knee is just a few inches from the ground, and when the hand sweeps down, they can touch, the fingers touch right down. Now bring the right arm up to meet the left, Virabhadrasana 1. If you can't turn your hip easily, you can lift the back heel. If it's too much, you lower down the knee. Reach up here, allow the head to fall back. This pose says, I'm yours, grant me higher devotion. Now lower the knee down, flatten out the toes, Kapyasana. Rock your shoulders back and forward, try to get your seat all the way forward. Pull the arms back. Make sure your arms aren't bent. Think of a crescent moon. Think of the shape. No interruptions in that smooth curve from point to point. If you know other variations, go ahead. If you want to do the swan, you can bring your right foot up, turn to the right, and then lean towards your foot. You might be able to get your foot to come into the crook of the arm. Fingers close to your ear. You can either keep your left arm extended, so like a spear variation, or bring your hand across the face. Lock the fingers together, lift the wrist, and turn the wrist away from you. Lift the arm up over the head, and then push the foot away from your shoulder. Lean away from the leg. Think of a swan's neck. This is like a swan pose variation. No kinks in that beautiful, graceful neck, so soften the elbow joint a bit. Break the pose, bring a foot back in towards the shoulder to let it down softly. Now from here, walk your left foot out to the edge of the mat and then slide your right toes back. If your hips are pretty close to the ground already, when you fall to the right, your forearm, you might be able to come down on the forearm and roll back to your left. So here you want to make sure your knee's not falling away from the shoulder or that this is happening. Keep your knee and your foot in the same line. And try to get your back lower than the knee. If you're very flexible, your arm can come to the outside of the foot and your chest can come right down to the ground. Feel as though the hips are made of lead, very heavy. If you're flat on the ground with your chest, the left arm can come over the foot in front and then underneath the knee. And then over the back, the right hand goes over the back till you join your hands together. Be still like a lizard merges the form. When you become one with the form, imagine yourself in their shoes. That's when you find the ability to bring the mind into quietness. And now break the pose. Come back onto the hands. So from here, we're going to bring the foot across to the right and lower the thigh and the knee down, pigeon pose. Bring the right foot the left foot forward if you can. in line with the knee. If it's too much for your hip, you just keep the foot close to your right hip. And then just rock from side to side. Try to get more weight into the right to fall into the right hip. So both sides of the hips are equally anchored down. Take the foot with your right hand, slide your body forward. Left arm comes forward until your chest is on the ground, on the leg, and maybe the right arm can then slide forward. Keep telescoping your trunk under your hips. Keep reaching, lengthening. With each exhale, feel the hips getting heavier and heavier. And then the rest of the body will sink down the belly and the chest will follow. Now from here, coming back, sit more on your left side, more weight on your left side, just relax the back leg and pull the foot in a little bit. And you want to have the center chest centered over the middle of the foot. Reach forward, bring your elbow to the sole of the foot, right hand pushes into your left. And here you just keep on pushing to the foot, trying with the elbow, trying to get your center of the chest, your thumbs, ride the right shoulder back, roll the right thigh down. If you're more flexible, you might be able to get your shoulder in front of the foot. You can even rest your head in your hand, bring your right arm around the back, behind the back, and bring the hand to the thigh. So again, try to avoid making wrinkles in the waist, even though the right shoulder is moving up and back and the right hip is moving down. Keep torso long and push against the foot so that the underside of the body is not all crunched up and wrinkled as well. Now from here, coming back onto your hands, into pigeon pose. This time bring heel right in close to the front of the seat. So here, upright pigeon. You can take your hands to your seat, push into the seat, pull down, allow the head to drop back below, between your shoulder blades. You can stay here, or you can even take hold of your opposite elbows and just push your arms, your forearms into your seat and pull, make it so you're trying to stretch the skin on your back, pull all the skin away and down from the from the shoulders. If you're more flexible, you know other poses like Raja Kapotasana, you can do that. Bring the right foot up. You can do the swan again. Or if you know the full pose, be mindful of your shoulders. You can take your foot outside the foot with your fingers wrapped around the toes, your thumb at the base of the toes, and bring your elbow out to the side and straight up. Don't strain the joint. Allow the head to fall back. Move in a way that follows the normal movement of the joint. The head comes onto the foot, perhaps. Advanced practitioners, again, know your abilities. Now release. So another option for Vasisthasana. I'll demonstrate this one, and if you want to try it, you can. If it's too much, then you can come into Vasisthasana another way. So you bring your left hand behind the back, use your right hand to guide the foot to the hand, the hand to the foot, turn to your left. Push into your right hand and your right hip and the outer edge of the foot, and push the hip up away from the ground. So this is Pada Padma Vasisthasana. If that's too much, you just come back into plank, stand on the right hand and right foot. Push your hips forward. From here, if you want, you can bring your left foot on your thigh if you like, if you can't get in the full lotus, or you can just get into lotus, do whatever you like. Okay. Now return. If your foot's in lotus, you can turn towards the front, release the foot, extend the left leg all the way up and back, Ekapada. Everyone can do this now. And step the left foot between your hands. From here, Parivrita Paschimottanasana. If you can do it without dropping your knee to the ground, I invite you to try it. The right arm up, angle the toe of the knee towards the right. Get the right arm to sit on the outside of the leg. The armpit is sitting right on the outside of the knee. Left hand pushes into your right. So I'm not sure if you can see, but as you push your left hand down, your belly comes higher than the thigh, and you roll the left shoulder all the way back. If if you need to, you lower the knee down to the ground. If you want to take a bind, push the seat back. Use the left hand to guide the right hand underneath. If you push your hip back, you will be able to get more space for the arm to go underneath. Left arm can go, then go over the back. Lock your fingers together. Hold the right wrist, the left wrist with your right hand. Pull the left shoulder all the way back. Turn the face and chest up. Break the pose. Bring hands back to the inside. And then from here, move back to the middle of the mat. Facing on the edge of the mat, arms out to the side and come all the way up. Go to the other side now. Turn to your right. Sink down deep into the hip. Arms are level with the shoulders. Look forward. Embody the courage, the power, the determination, and the devotion of the warrior to protect and support their people at all times. And from here, swing your left hand up to really reflect this devotion. Take your head all the way back. Modify the poses you need to. Remember, make the adjustments that you need to be able to turn your left hip all the way forward. And lower the back knee down. Kavyasana here. You can do the regular variation, which is a beautiful expression of surrender and opening as well. Or you can do your swan. If you want to bring the back knee up. Back foot up, bend at the knee. Take the foot in the crook of the arm. Try to point the fingers right up so they're close to the ear so that you can take your right hand to your hand more easily. Find the hand, flick your wrist up and away, and push your foot away from your shoulder. You have to think of the form in your mind, imagine its shape, and just realize the best that you can. Pull the foot in close to your shoulder again to let the foot go gently. Turn to the front. The right foot moves out to the edge of the mat. Left foot scooches back. Make sure the knee doesn't, the knee and the foot heel stay in the same line. So sometimes this happens, it's not a pigeon pose. Okay, so you don't come forward with your knee way over the foot, your heel up, your heel is down, and your shin is vertical. And then see if you can get your left hip and your left forearm to come down when you roll to your left, and do the same on the right. Telescope your chest forward, your knee close to the shoulder, your back eventually coming down lower than the knee. And if you want to take the bind, the right arm goes to the outside, over the foot, and underneath the knee, from the outside, over the back. Wherever you're at, it's perfect if you're coming in with an intention of offering. No attachments to the outcomes, just do your best. Whatever you don't attain in this lifetime, will you just pick up in the next lifetime you continue on. No effort is lost. All moving towards self-realization. And then release, coming back up onto the hands. And from here, reposition for pigeon. Move the right foot over to the left and bring the knee down and the thigh down. And just rock again, side to side. Try to get a little bit more weight to come into your left side. Rock back side to side. And then from here, take hold of the foot with your left hand. Slide the right arm forward. Your chest lands on your leg. Your knees just in the armpit area. And your left arm can then slide forward. Be humble. Ask for nothing, expect nothing, and you receive it all. Remember to remain enthusiastic, show enthusiasm to the teacher, to those who you're representing, and then they're more inclined again to bring you deeper, to show you all their tricks. Now coming back, walk your hands back, you lean to the right, left leg can relax a little bit. And you can push your knee, right knee out a little bit so that to make it easier for the chest to come right over the foot, the middle of the foot. The elbow to your
Sole of the foot, left hand pushes into right. Try to get the center of the chest behind your thumbs. Pull the left shoulder back, the left thigh down. If you're more flexible, aim to get your shoulder in front of the foot. And then keep pushing, turning your chest and face up. Left thigh rolls down, left shoulder rolls back. And if you want, you can just rest your head in the right hand, left arm goes behind the back. Roll the thigh outwards. And now break the pose, coming back. Pull the left foot right in, close to the hip. Now if you're having trouble balancing, you can place a block underneath the right side of the seat. This sometimes helps to keep the hips anchored in place so you have steadiness in the pose. If you want to do your variations of upright pigeon, you can now. You can just keep your hands on the ground, on your seat, push into seat, pull down. You go the opposite elbows and push your forearms into your seat. Pull the seat down as you lift your chest up away from the seat. This is no wrinkles again across the lower back. Or if you know king pigeon, go ahead. Bring your foot up, your left foot. Take your thumb to the sole, just underneath the base of the toes. Your other fingers around the outside of the foot. Hold the edge of the foot and then bring your elbow up and circle it up and turn forward. Tip your head back. And eventually you have your hands both on the foot. Use a strap if you need to. Again, don't strain the shoulders. Practice with mindfulness. Break the pose. Return. So from here, Vasisthasana, you can just stand on your left hand, left foot. Just swing the right leg back. All the way, or you can do a Baddha Padma Vasisthasana. Take the right hand behind the back. Use the left hand to guide it to the foot, hold the big toe, and then turn to your right. Push into your left hand, the left edge of the foot, and push off the hip, and then the body will come up. Notice how my hand's a little bit in front of the shoulders, so that my arm stays fully extended. I have that power. If that's not accessible, you can just come into side plank from here. Keep the right arm in front, right foot in front of the left. From here, if you want, you can take the foot onto the thigh, or maybe even the foot into your lotus, and come from there. Okay, so lots of different things. Notice how this looks like a tree pose, almost. So all sorts of forms. We're also similar in many ways. We just keep looking for the differences, and that's what causes separation. And then come back. From here, if you have the foot up, or even if you don't, raise your right leg up, send the foot between the hands. Look for the common ground. And from here, Parivrita Paskanasana, left arm up. Go to the outside of the leg. I'll do it this way. So you can see it from a different angle. The armpit is on the outside of the knee, right hand pushes into your left, and you really push down, right hand into the left, so the belly comes hard in the thigh, the center of the chest comes to your thumbs. Line, straight line from the elbows right through the wrist to the other elbow. So that's not like this, okay, so your elbows are not like this. You push your wrists back so that they're in line with your elbows. Pull the right shoulder all the way back. If you want to take a bind, go ahead. If you need to drop your left knee to the ground, all good too. Just do your best, as always. It's the effort that's most important, not the result. Now break the pose. From here, bring your hands back, face them along the edge of the mat. So this way here. And from here, actually, do it this way. So let's bring arms up to side and up. From here, easy Chakasana. Pull your heels in. Your toes are pointing out. Hands to the seat. You can adjust your feet, bring them a little bit in if you like. Now press into your seat Bend your knees like you're riding a horse. Do this slowly so you don't, especially if you have low blood pressure. Be mindful of the way you move. Allow the head to go back so you don't get dizzy and fall. And then you can slide your hands down one at a time, just maybe below the knees. The heels of your palms pushing just underneath the knees. And the thumbs come further through. Roll the thighs outwards, roll the shins inwards. Push your hips forward and up. If you're more flexible, you can bring your hands all the way down maybe. Step on your fingers, those who are very flexible. Other option, if your head's close to the ground, you can see easily, you can also take Urdhva Dhanurasana. Again, know your abilities. If you're in Urdhva Dhanurasana, everybody's ready to come back up. So come onto your fingertips. One hand comes to the back of the, let's say the right hand to the right leg, push into the underneath the knee, and the left hand, hold your breath. And from there, keep pushing your hands into your thighs as you walk your way back up. As you come closer, bring your chin into your chest and come up. Arms up to the side, turn heels out so that the edges of your feet are parallel with the short ends of the mat. From here, fold forward, hinge on the hips. Take hold of the ankles, maybe the edges of the feet. You can even step on your fingers if you like. Pull the body right down between your legs. Try to get your body right between your legs. Some of you who are flexible can just try to line up the back of the head with the heels. Try to get your chest behind your legs. You can stay here. If you want to go into an inversion of some sort, you can. A headstand, for instance, a handstand, a forearm balance, whatever you like. So you bring your head down. Let's say we're doing a forearm balance. This one requires more core for this one to come in from here. So you just have to bring your forearms underneath your elbows, hands, fingers spread, lift up, lift your heels, hold your breath. So you can bend your legs up. If it's too much, you bring your feet behind your elbows and you come up any which way you can. Okay, the regular way. You can also just keep your head on the ground, Prasamita Padasana, stay in that pose. Now from here, come down. As the legs come down, you have to engage your core more. As the legs come down closer to the ground, so your feet land softly. In the same way, in the same place where they entered. So from here, head up, arms out to the side, and come all the way back up. From here, jump or walk your feet back together. Bend your knees, and then from here, stand formidable like a mountain. From the base of the spine, like the base of the mountain, breathe all the way up to the crown, which is like the summit. Exhale back down to the base of the spine. Be unshakable, unmovable, solid through and through with your devotion to the practice and to serve others. So now from here, coming down onto your knees. Let's first do Gomukhasana perhaps first, if you can. Bring the right foot up in front, and then from here, see if you can cross your knee in front, your foot goes out to your left, and your other knee is right behind, so you just pull your toes out to the right and you sit between your heels. So if this is too much, you can't get both your hips down, you have a couple of you can also just sit with your knees together and sit on your heels. So you can just do this, the easy version here. You still get all the benefits. It's not about the knees, it's about the rest of it, the shoulders. So from here, depending where you're at, you're sitting between your heels, make sure your knees are lined one on top of the other, bring the right arm up. Push the elbow up higher and further back behind your head, anchored in place with your, with the back of the head. The hand comes down the center of the back, between the shoulder blades, if you can. Left hand comes down, the thumb pointing down, and then snake your hand up the back. See if you can take your fingers together. Lean back a little bit. Push in the back of the heart, drop your shoulders. Relax the eyes, don't make them go hard. If they're popping out of the head, chances are you might be going a little bit too far. Come back to a place where you can find the ease, the ability to stay, the mind stays calm. to you want. Now I'm going to come forward. Allow the body to drape over the leg. So you make, let's get your right elbow to the ground. If you want to go further, you can press into the edge of your feet, lift your seat. Your elbow has to slide forward. So now you're on the more the crown of the head. Those you want can even. Hold your breath, push into the edge of your feet and lift your seat up. Then you roll more on the back, the top of the back of the head. According to your condition as always. And then you come back down with your knees, hold your breath, scooch back, press into the edge of your feet. Engage your core to come back up. And release. Good. Shake out the shoulders. And on the other side now. So you're coming back. You can either just keep sitting on your heels if you're in that, if you're in Sukha Gomukhasana, or your left foot comes in front and across. In front of your right knee, your toes, the right foot goes out to your left, your toes of the left foot go out to the right. And then again, you sit between the heels. Pull on the feet, try to get your knees to line up right in front, then center line the body right one on top of the other. Doesn't have to be together, just lined up. And then the left arm up. Bring the right hand to the elbow, push it up further and further behind. Walk your fingers down the back of the body, between the shoulder blades, and then bring the right arm up if you can. Take the bite. It might not feel the same on this side as it does on the other. Be unconcerned, just keep looking aside if it gives you more trouble. And then, so as not to create a bigger imbalance, keep what you have on the other side. Lean back a little bit if you like. And from here, go forward, drape the body, if you can, over the thighs, the head comes towards the ground. And maybe you can press on the edges of your feet, the outside edges. Bring your left elbow down, and then bring your head down. It'll follow. Slide your left elbow forward. Hold your breath, push into the edges of your feet, the outer edges, and see if you can lift your seat up off the mat. And then just roll onto more the top and maybe the back of the head. It's like you're about to go into plow pose. Know your limits, know your abilities. From here, you turn, bring your knees back down, slide your left elbow back. We push into the feet, edge of the feet, and come back up. And release. So from here, untangle the legs. Shirashasana, king of the postures. If you know how to get into it, go ahead. If you need modifications or more demonstration, the easiest one in terms of pressure on the head is with your forearms down on the ground. So you bring your seat on your heels, take hold of the opposite elbows. You can do this against a chair or a wall if you like as well. So if you have that chair or along your body, if you're just beginning, you can start here with your seat right on your heels. Take hold, make sure your elbows are underneath your shoulders, and you can take hold of your elbows easily. Then don't move your elbows, move your hands forward, interlace them, place your head between your palms, and then lift up your seat. Bring one foot onto the seat of the chair or on the wall. Imagine that my foot is against the wall. You want to have about the height of the hip, and then you bring your other leg behind you. Allow the foot to be heavy on the foot that's behind you. The more you let it dangle, the more it works for you to keep you in balance. Keep your feet flexed. Keep your legs very, very bent so that your body's compact. It's much easier to balance when your body is compact as opposed to long lines here. It's hard to control here if you don't know it, if you are not familiar with the pose. And then it'll throw you over your back possibly. So again, stay with control. If it's too much, you can keep your feet on the wall or even just one foot. You don't even have to bring your head down. If it's too much to bring your head down, you start with your head up off the ground. If you're very strong, you just push your head up off the ground. Those of you who are in headstand in the middle of the ground and can middle of the floor and can do that, you can go ahead. Keep the legs bent, flex your feet, push to the base of the toes and the heels. Don't rush it. Just wait for the ease, the comfort to come. And then try. Don't force yourself to go to a place that you're not ready to. Everything comes in time. And then come back down into child's pose. Breathe in. Breathe out all fatigue. Good. Yes. Okay, so now from here, bring your arms in front and then slide all the way forward like we did in the sun salutations. Come right into Cobra. Back into Adho Mukha Svanasana. And now we're going to jump our feet forward to our hands. Landing your feet where the hands are coming to a squat. Lift the heels, make ready. Try and get your seat and your hip and your shoulders in the same line. Your fingers are dangling down, your wrists are loose. Now lift your heels up. Push into reach your toes. Stay steady. Arms up if you like. Utkatasana. Lower down slowly, slowly, slowly. Heels come down onto the seat comes down the heels. Tuck your chin in and roll right back into easy plow. Roll onto your back, use your arms to help you roll back. And then bring your hands to your seat. Now some of you might be able to just stay here if you like. Your feet close to the ground or on the ground and your knees just over your shoulders. If you feel comfortable, you can come into shoulder stand, Shavasana. Move your arms behind your back more by joining your wrists together and pull your elbows closer. And then bring your hands on your back so your arms are right behind your back. You can't see them from the front. Raise one leg up and then the other. Try to get full extension of the leg before you bring the other leg up. Try to have your chest in the same line as your shoulders. Toes, hips, shoulders, all in one line. Those who have a lotus, go ahead. But make sure if you notice that your knees are higher than the hips. So if you have a lotus here, use your hands to push your knees up. It should look like a plow pose. It should look like a shoulder stand. So. Bring your attention inward beyond the body, the mind, and the emotions. Go within. Slowly make your way into plow. If you have a lotus, you can go into Pindasana. Your thighs come down onto your belly, your knees on either side of the head, and you can wrap your arms around the outside of the legs and join your hands underneath your feet. That's for embryo pose, Pindasana. If you don't have a lotus, you just come back to plow. And if you like Kanapidasana, bring your thighs against your body, again, your knees on either side of the head. Now you may stay here, those of you who know those transition to come into camel or a twist. You can go ahead, so your palms are down on the ground behind your back, walk your feet over to your left, all the way so your knee can come down beside your left shoulder. Tuck your chin in, press off the back of the head, and roll all the way up into into camel pose if you like. Push your chest up, the head back, and then immediately come back down. So coming back down, you bring your left shoulder in front of your left knee. In here pose, the top of the head down, and then you push into your left shoulder, you keep your hip high, and you move back into plow. And of course, what you do on one side, you do on the other. Even if you don't go into camel, you can walk your feet over to your right, drop your right knee down beside your shoulder, and then see if you can roll a little bit more. Your left shoulder has to lift up, so the left knee to come down. And from here, you roll back up. Into camel, push your hips forward. Again, those who are familiar, take the head all the way back, and then back down again. Tuck your chin in, the right shoulder comes down in front of the knee. Push into the side and back of the right side of the head, and then come back. Keep your hips high. You're back into plow pose. Now from here, getting ready to come into fish. Hands underneath here, not underneath, but in front of your back with your palms down and index fingers and thumb tips touching. Pull your legs back down. Do with control, try not to come down heavily and fast. Once the seat lands on the wrist, keep moving your legs down until about halfway down, 45 degrees. Stay there. And then from here, push into your elbows, lift your chest up. Pull your elbows in a little bit. Push your chest up, the head back, and bring the top of it down. If this is too much at this point, you can lower the legs down. But if you can stay here, and bust your breath, move, breathe very fast in the nose. Bring your feet down close to your seat, edge the feet in line with your hips. Now those of you who can come into Urdhva Dhanurasana from here. Take your hands out from underneath, place your hands beside your head, fingers facing away, and then lift your seat up off the ground, push into your fingertips, slide your head back further behind your hands, closer to the feet, and turn your hands around, fingers facing towards the heels now, slightly turn out, and if you can, take your head up off the ground. If this is too much, just do bridge pose. So the back of the head is on the ground, you lift your seat, and you just bring your shoulders, tuck your arms underneath your body. And you can support your hands if you like, or bring your hands down underneath your seat on the ground. Wherever you're doing, again, just do your best. Go to the pose where you can find the ease, but at the same time still exercising your full potential. If you're in Urdhva Dhanurasana, stretch it out. Rock back and forth, lift the heels, push the chest forward in front of your arms if you can. Mother of all back bends, stretch. Those who are very flexible can try to get your legs and arms straighter. See if you can walk your hands towards your feet, that you might be able to touch your fingers to the heels, those who are very flexible. Working towards Chakrasana. Those who are extremely flexible can take your hands to the ankles. Chakrasana. And now break the pose. Walk your hands further away from your feet if you need to come down. And from here, lie on your back. Rest for a moment. Extend the legs. Breathe in. Breathe out all fatigue. Now bring the right leg up, ankle grasp. If you need to, slide your left foot in. The foot stays flat on the ground, but the left knee comes up. And bring your left, your right foot closer to your body. Try to straighten out the leg by pulling on the foot. Your knees on the shoulder. If you can't get your legs straight, it's okay. Again, do what you can. If you're very flexible, you can first extend the left leg flat on the ground. You can see if you bring the right foot to the ground, right beside and behind your head a little bit. So the knee is right in the armpit of the right arm. Now bend your knee, bring your heel in line with the knee. Take hold of the outside edge of the foot. Again, if this is already where your edge is, you stay there. Otherwise, you bring the right arm in front of the knee, slide your left foot in. You can bring your knee right into the shoulder, come into tuck. See, wriggle around here. Just try to push into the back of the right knee. Try to get your knee close to your ear, your right knee. And you lift your right side of the seat up as well. And then you lift your back up off the ground, your shoulders and the head. You push the right foot further behind the head, pull it to your left. And then you might be able to get your head in front of your foot. So if you know how to do this, go ahead. If not, don't worry about it. Just do what you can, stay in half happy baby pose. Those who are very flexible might be able to get both feet behind the head. You bring your left foot up, you pull on the feet, you're about to go into plow, but not all the way. You bring your shoulders, push against the backs of the knees, cross your ankles, put your feet together. Get to lift your shoulders off the mat so you can get your head, your feet, stretch them back and then behind, closer to the ground so you can get your feet behind your head. Now those of you who are in the full pose, Yoga Nidrasana, you stay there, otherwise you repeat on the other side. So now your right leg is either bent and the foot close to your seat or straight out, extended front, and you bring your left leg up. Take the knee to the shoulder, take hold of the ankle. Keep the left knee on the shoulder at all times. Those you're flexible, again, pull on the foot. Try to get your foot to come right down to the ground beside your head. Take your attention to where you want to release. Your attention is like a magnet. It attracts all the prana there. And from here you can work at trying to get your leg behind the head. You can take your left arm in front of your leg, pull the right knee right into the shoulder, and then wriggle around. Try to raise the left side of the seat up, the left hip, bring the knee. You have to push in the back knee so the knee comes higher close to the ear. And then from here you lift your head and shoulders up off the mat. You pull the foot back behind and to the right, and see if you can get your head in front of the leg. So visualize yourself playing out the pose. Eventually the body will obey. Break the pose, bring the right leg, left leg back, breathe in, breathe out. Now come to seated position any which way you like. I personally like to roll back and forth on my back. If you can, something fun to do, roll all the way into cloud pose. Take hold of the big toes with your peace finger, with your thumb and index finger. Hold your breath and try to come into Navasana while holding your feet and not bending your knees in between. So hold your breath, and then if you don't make it, just come back, all the way back. Hold your breath, and then bring your feet up. More flexible, try to get your chest and your thighs right together, your legs straight up. If it's too much, you can't balance, you open up your legs a little bit. Pull the shoulders back. Very flexible. You can cross your arms behind the on the calves, behind the legs, and draw your legs right up to your nose. And from here, release. Bring your feet down. Cross your ankles. Come into a table pose. Now from here, you roll up. So we did sort of similar poses for standing easy chakrasana. Some of you did bridge before, and this is sort of the same type of pose in the same family. Lots of similarities. Bend the toes under, bring hands to seat, and lean back if you can. If your shoulders go behind the feet easily, we'll engage, of course, in doing so we can go back with control. The right hand to the right heel, left hand to your left heel, and then bring heels together. Cross the baby fingers together, lock them together, and push your hips forward like you're about to fall on your thighs. The head goes back. If it's too much, keep your hands on your seat and just keep pulling your seat down. Push into your seat, pull down. Keep your chest as high as possible. Allow that to go back. Release, bring your hands on the seat one at a time. Push in the seat, pull down. Bring your chin back and come down. Hands on the ground in front. Cat pose. Inhale, arch back. Exhale, throw the heart right between your shoulder blades and the belly button right through the lower back, the small of the back. take your seat down and bring your feet in front. Adho Matsyendrasana. If you can, you keep your left leg folded with your heel on the outside of the right hip. Your left foot comes to the other side. If you can't do this without having one side of the seat, not being able to ground both sides of the seat, you just extend your left leg and you move your foot out a little bit more beyond the knee. Okay, so I'll demonstrate this one first. Left hand up, right hand right down center back. And then go to the right. Push the forearm against the outside of the leg. Inhale, push the lower back up and in. Turn to the right. Try not to just turn the eyes. You should feel the torsion starting at the base of the hips and moving all the way up. Visualize the spine rotating around itself. And this might carry you deeper into the rotation yourself, just through the visualization. If you have your left leg folded under, look like this. If you know other variations, go ahead. You can take your left hand to your heel if you like. Pull on the heel, and this gives you a nice ability to get a little bit, to feel the stretch and the twist a little bit more. Push the knees beyond the left edge of the body. Good. Now from here, option. You can bring your left, if you're in this pose, just bring your left foot this side or right. If you have left leg extended, pull it right in. Now lean towards the right. Bring the left hand down beside the right. Pull the right elbow right into the hip. Lean forward so you can sit your legs on the upper left arm. You can even bring your head down. And so inside curl. If you know how to do Kundinyasana, you can bring your left leg out and back. Come back down. As Dharma says, not important. If you can't do it, just wait for the opportunity to come, and when you feel comfortable and at ease to do it. So the other side now, left leg, if your right leg is straight, just beyond the knee, not close to the hip, closer to the ankle. Right arm up, go to your left. Push the lower back up and in. Make sure you're not leaning back. Your left hand should not be far away from the body, should be right against the seat. The head right over the seat, and or the leg folded. If you know other binds, you can go ahead. It's the right arm underneath your right leg, your left leg, and join your hands behind your back. Go to the variation you can feel it. Sometimes if you go to the deeper ones, you're concentrating so hard. I'm just trying to get the pose that you don't really, you lose some of the twist. You don't go as deep. So sometimes it's better to step back and to take an easier form to feel the effects more. And from here, if you like, bring a right foot beside your left, or you can slide your right foot in beside your left. Right arm comes up to the outside of the leg. Make sure your elbow is close to your hip. Move your hands one beside the other. Pull your left hip, elbow into the hip, just above the hip, and then lift your legs. Allow your legs to sit on your arm. You can bring your left side of the head down if you like. You can extend the legs. Right leg goes back, left leg goes up, and then hold your breath so you get your head up off the ground. Come back down. Child's pose. So now make your way down very softly on your back. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, let go of all fatigue. Imagine you just went unconscious. Try to train the body to let go of all efforts instantly, so you can take full advantage of the rest in between the postures or at the end of the practice. The practice is a balance between the strength and the drive of the effort, and the effort with softness and surrender. And they all have their place in the practice, they all have their benefits. Offer it all up. There are
impurities at all level, mental, physical, emotional and spiritual. Imagine the best coming in, flooding you with everything that you need, all the benefits of the practice coming now. Feel them coming in like great beams of light at such force that they just push out all the negative effects that you don't want to hold on to instantly. Just like a wave comes onto the beach with force, when it moves back out, it clears all the debris from the sand underneath the wave as it retreats. In the same way, let go of all the clutter, all that you don't need, all that doesn't serve you. All that's preventing you from attaining your highest potential. Be fearless and fierce. When you're fearful, it might attract effects that you don't want, even accidents. So always concentrate on the good effects, positive outcomes. A positive mindset will bring about positive outcomes. And most importantly, a compassionate and loving comportment attracts good karma. Say to yourself 3 times the following sentence to ingrain in your mind and heart. I've seen the divine essence in all beings. Have compassion for all beings at any given point. Countless numbers are coming into existence and they're young souls, so they don't know the way yet. They might do things that are, their actions might reflect that those of a younger soul who don't have knowledge, who as Dharma calls cavemen, who don't have a lot of compassion. But with time, with each passing life, you gain that knowledge bit by bit, just like we did, just like we went and evolved through that path. So have compassion for them and continue to help them in any way you can. Now, prepare to come back from Shavasana in a way that's gentle, that's mindful, quiet. Close the practice with the Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Instill the peace within and send it out to all beings everywhere. Om Shanti.